Hey, happy days. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with day 493, 493 days in a row where I've hopped online here and talked about my personal journey, my business journey from offline brick and mortar business success to online business success and that transition and that journey. I guess I thought it was going to be an easier straight shot for me than I anticipated, mainly because offline business has always been pretty easy for me. I'm shuffling some cards. I'll tell you why in a minute. And so it's fun to share, and it's fun to go back and look at. Now, I'll admit, I haven't gone back and watched any of my videos. Too painful, right? That's part of why I do videos every day, is so that I can learn how to communicate, get better at talking, get better at sharing what it is that I'm trying to share and communicate what it is that I'm trying to communicate. But today I just wanted to focus on enjoying life, enjoying the experience of what we're going through right now. Now, is everything in my life hunky-dory and awesome right now? Hell no, absolutely not. There are things in my life that are absolute chaos and a freaking mess. But then there's things in my life that are going so amazingly well, I couldn't ask for anything more. I couldn't have a better, aspect of my life in certain areas. So, we're all always dealing with that we're a multi-layered person or being. It isn't just our physical needs or our financial needs that need to be met. It's our mental needs, our emotional needs, our spiritual needs, our ability to contribute and make a difference in the world. All of those levels of need have to be met in order for us to be happy and enjoy our lives. So, there's a lot of discussion around balance, and you have to balance all these things. I'm going to tell you right now, I think that's absolute nonsense. There's no way that you can balance the 7 different areas of your life equally, because to me, when people say balance, they mean that should be equal emphasis on those things, because each one of us values each of those aspects of our life very differently. For a long, long time, I didn't value my health and my physical well-being. I didn't take care of myself at all. I was busy running through my life, doing a lot of things that I thought I should do at the detriment of my health. And it's, that's not uncommon for entrepreneurs and business owners to just run and go and be out of shape and not be paying attention to our physical well-being. I spent a lot of years acting that way. Now, after a sudden cardiac arrest, my health is like right at the top of my priority list, right? And how I've worked that into what I love to do, because, taking care of my health isn't necessarily something that I want to think about and do all the time. I've had to create habits and just make those part of my lifestyle, automatic behaviors that become part of my lifestyle, so I don't have to consciously think about that area of my life. I don't have to think about, okay, if I do this, I don't have to think about all the details of decisions that I make for my health. I just set a goal of what I want my health to be, and then I just make sure that throughout the day I'm following the systems and the habits that I put in place that ensure that I'm moving toward that goal at every given time or moment. Unless, of course, there's karma involved, and then all bets are off. So each of our areas of our life we need to pay some attention to, but based on what we value and what's important to us will determine how we rank those, what the priority is for those. I am a busy, high energy, active person, and for me, work is my play. So contribution and work and finances and business takes a higher priority in my life than a lot of other things. And my health, in some instances, not so much anymore, but it did in the past. Relationships, to me, there's nothing more important than my family, my kids, my 99-year-old, almost 100-year-old grandmother, my 4-year-old granddaughter, because she just had a birthday not too long ago. Enjoying those people and those relationships is, a high priority to me. But to a lot of people, they couldn't care less about relationships. They don't care about them. That's not a priority for them. And that's awesome. You get to decide for yourself what is important to you and what you want to, and what causes you joy in your life. I'm doing actually today was day 153. I'm looking at my notebook because I have to keep a notebook of what I'm doing at any given time. 153 of doing one thing every day that makes me happy, from this little journal book, Do One Thing Every Day That Makes You Happy. And the reason I'm doing that is because I know that I have all these amazing blessings that I'm grateful for every day in my life. But there's also so many blessings in my life that I just take for granted and I don't appreciate, I don't acknowledge, and works for people too. There are so many amazing people in my life and we forget to acknowledge them. So I was at the cabin. I said, hey, I need to do something to really focus on happiness this year because our natural state is well-being. So in addition to doing that every day, I do a couple of other things that work for me. These may or may not work for you, but they work for me and they make me feel better and more joyous and happier. So I want to share them with you. They might not work for you at all, but it might encourage you to go out and look for things that do make you happy, that do bring you joy. One of the things I do every day, usually first thing in the morning, but not always, sometimes it's later in the day, is I know I've mentioned that I love these card decks, right? And that's why I'm shuffling these card decks. I am just finishing up the well-being card deck. I think this was a gift actually from one of my sisters because they know I need to work on my well-being. Now, well-being is our natural state, right? Surprise, a lot of us wouldn't think if we look at the evidence of our lives that well-being is our natural state. Some of us go through more trials and tribulations in every aspect of our life than other people do in their entire lifetime. In like a year, we can go through more than some people experience in their entire lifetime. I guess that's just our fate or karma or whatever. But I like these decks and cards because they have a message on them every day. And these are short and they're big print, so my magnifying glass can actually see them. So let's look at today's. So I'll give you an example of what one of these messages would be. And I'm sure by now there's hundreds or thousands of these decks available on just about any topic you can imagine. I like them for a couple of reasons. Number one, I can pull one a day, I can read it, I can look at it, I can stick it in my purse or in a pocket, and I can carry it with me throughout the day so that if anything happens to come up in my life that isn't awesome, because believe it or not, sometimes unawesome things come up in my life too, and I might need an attitude adjustment for whatever reason. Some things trigger me and tip me over just like everybody else. I can pull this baby out and I can look at it and I can read it, and it will always bring me back to a little bit more rational state. So it's a really good tool for, my family used to tell me to pop the cork, but that tells you any indication of my temper. I used to have like this weird little explosive temper, and it still pops up every once in a while. But instead of popping the cork, I actually will grab a card and read a card or count to 10 or whatever. And let's be honest, I'm not an angry person. I don't get mad or upset or angry. I get passionate about things and vocal, but I don't really get angry about stuff. I don't like injustice in terms of human beings treating other human beings badly in any way, shape, or form. So I do get a little riled up about those things. So today's is, let me grab my magnifying glass. My happiness is my greatest gift to others. I was just talking about this with a coaching student yesterday. Selfishly seek joy because your joy is the greatest gift you can give to anyone. Unless you are in your joy, you have nothing to give away. Now, I think we've heard this before, right? You can't love anybody else unless you love yourself first. And look at all the examples of this we still see in the universe where people aren't loving themselves. And therefore, their relationships are not what they could be or should be. Anyway, the reason I'm shuffling these is I just finished this deck. I do this, I look at one a day, and I just finished going through this deck, and I decided that I still don't have the right mindset for me on my well-being. So I'm going to shuffle up the deck. And for the next, how many cards are in this deck? There are, magnifying glass, 60 cards in this deck. For the next 60 days, I will pull one card a day randomly, and that will be my message for the day, and that's what I'll carry with me. Because I know that well-being is my natural state on a conscious level or a deep, deep subconscious level, but I don't always behave that way toward myself and toward others in my life right now. And so I want to improve my well-being and my conscious awareness of well-being. And so I will do this for the next 60 days. It's one of my little tricks to make me feel better, make me feel happier and more appreciative of my life as it is. So I want to share that with you. Another thing I do is I'm an avid reader, even though I can't see squat these days and I'm actually blind. I find ways to still consume knowledge, do a lot of audiobooks. I have a 62-inch screen TV that I can blow things up really big on, so I can actually scroll through and read things, because you know, if you make them 2 feet high, I can actually see them on that screen. And I think that's where my philosophy of do what you can with what you've got right now comes in. Could I let my challenges stop me at dead in my tracks and not do anything? Yeah, I sure could. Would anybody blame me? No, people probably think, yeah, do what you got to do, or don't do anything. We don't care. Well, you know, you'll survive. But I can't work that way. I can't operate that way. So I find ways to read. And there's things like little books, like this is Dr. Wayne Dyer's Everyday Wisdom for Success. Who doesn't want to be more successful? And it's not, you know, it's in whatever area of your life, any of those 7 areas: financial, physical, spiritual, emotional, relationships, mental, contribution, any of those areas. We want to be successful in them. We want to be successful in all of them, right? At least everybody I know wants to be. So how do you do that? You feed your mind, you feed your psyche, you do things that feel good to you, things that you enjoy. So I like to find little sayings in books, and this is some of the greatest wisdom from Dr. Wayne Dyer. I mean, Dr. Dyer passed away just recently, and I've been an avid follower of his since at least 2010. Louise Hay recently passed away too a couple years ago, and I've been an avid follower of hers, and they were in an organization together called Hay House, where they publish incredibly good personal development materials, and that's part of where I got the card decks, and where I continue to get those. There's just so much good information out in the world that we can absorb, and it's up to us to choose. We can watch murder mysteries and listen to murder mysteries and negative horror things and bad things that are going on in the world, like the news, or we can choose to feed our brains and our minds and our lives positive things and things that make us feel better. Let me ask you, how does it make you feel when you watch the news and you hear all about the murders and the wars and the bad things that are going on in the world and in politics? It makes me feel like absolute crap. That's why I don't watch them. How does it make you feel when you watch an uplifting movie or a comedy? Feels good, right? So guess what I watch? I watch comedies and things that are uplifting, and documentaries and things that make me feel good. Sorry, that means I'm talking way too much if I got my alarms going off. So that's just another little trick. Read good materials. Feed your brain good stuff every single day. You know, it's just a habit. It's a lifestyle choice where you can choose to do the things, or you don't choose to do them. But that's whatever feels good to you is what you need to do. I guess that's my message for today. So today, what have I got going on with the businesses? Every day I produce content, of course, because that's kind of my thing. And today is day 33. Yep, day 33 of the 90-day challenge. Yesterday, I did a piece on scams. And when I was doing my personal video for the scam, because scams are one of the most popular video topics out there. So if I say, is this or that a scam, it makes a good video. It makes a good topic for video. So I think I did, are challenges scams? And I actually took the yes side of that. And I argued, I thought back to debate in high school, and I took a debate class in high school because you had to take a speech class. So I, of course, liked to argue back then. Imagine that. So I took debate, and in debate, I remembered you always argue whatever you draw, either the yes or no side of any topic or any argument. So I thought, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, I'm going to take the yes side. I'm going to say that, yeah, challenges, you know, that people do are scams. And so today I'm thinking that, and I already decided, I'm not just thinking about it. Today I'm going to take the no, they're not scams, and this is why argument, and make a video about that. So I'm doing that. I have my beautiful granddaughter over for a sleepover, so she'll be up soon. So I need to hurry up and create my content so I can hang out with her and enjoy the beautiful day. It's finally getting to be summer in Wisconsin. It was a beautiful day yesterday. It's looking already like it's going to be a beautiful day today. And since we have such a short summer season here, I do whatever I can to get outside and take advantage of the beautiful weather. Definitely an outdoor person, and I love to be out in nature and spend some time. That's another secret thing that will re-energize your soul. And maybe not. Maybe you're my one sister and her husband say we're indoor people. So again, it's always what's right for you. That's what matters. You know, do what you can with what you've got right now. Whatever feels good and is right for you. I mean, really feels good and is right for you and doesn't harm any other people. I say that's for you. So go for it. All right, that's it. Go out, make it a fantastic day. And I will, of course, be with you tomorrow, blabbering about what's going on, what's working, and what's not working in my online businesses and in my life. Take care.